the hard-charging tough guy who throws caution to the wind. Moto X's old-school, daring punk rocker, Colby Raha, always ready to full send. Leticia Buffoni, breaking new ground with her magnetic aura and savvy style. The rock star of street, Nyjah Houston, cunning, calculating, the most clutch rider of all time. And last but not least, me, Jack Matrani, host of the X Games. We're all here in Minneapolis, and it's game on! That's right, we have officially arrived for our biggest day here at X Games inside US Bank Stadium, recent host of the Super Bowl and now converted into the Coliseum of action sports here all weekend long. We now kick off the day with a crowd favorite, the Pacifico Men's BMX Park. And who better to call the shots than our legendary broadcast team, Uncle E, Scotty Kramer, and Chris Doyle. Take it away, gentlemen.
Well, it's time to spend a day in the park, and we're going to get things fired up here, right proper, for the Pacifico BMX Park competition. A lot of heavy-hitting talent ready to get it going, and speaking of talent, we'll use that loosely, of course. I am Chris Ernst, Uncle Lee, alongside three-time X Games gold medalist Scotty Kramer, who loves this, and Mr. Chris Doyle is down in the park with the athletes, with the crowd, getting us the 4-1-1. Scotty, how goes it?
We are here at BMX Park. This is my favorite event of the year because I know this park well. You know, I've got 9 X Games medals competing here over the years, and I just feel like this is the pinnacle of BMX, showing how well-rounded a rider is. There's so many options for them to hit. Quarter pipes, box jumps, there's tricks, there's flow. It's a huge event.
Huge event, and there's lots of talent. There's a guy who stood up to the plate last year, hit a home run out of this stadium, Logan Martin from Logan Reserve, Australia, defending gold medalist. Why is he good, and why is he going for another gold?
Logan Martin is known as the most consistent rider in the field. He shows up at every other BMX competition, and he delivers every single time, and I can see him back on the podium again, Uncle Lee.
Yeah, Logan going for that back-to-back gold. So tough to do, and that's part of our storylines here. 9 years, 9 different winners. Back to 2012, and Scotty, you got your gold medal. Why is it so challenging? We will talk about that. Logan Martin, 3 straight X Games BMX Park events, medaled. Will he go back-to-back? That's a huge storyline. And how about the rookies here?
We have 3 rookies that are fully capable of getting on the podium. It's a rare thing to do for rookies to get on the podium.
Yeah, chances of gold, how's this? In park, 0%. Chances of a medal or a podium, 10%. So, you're saying there's a chance. Okay, we're ready to get it underway. Nice one. Love the stats from our research team. And we are dialing things in for Daniel Sandoval. He hails from Corona, California. He's a monster of a rider, and he's ready to fire it up. 4-time medalist, his 10th appearance. Been doing it since 2012 in LA, and we are underway with our jam format.
Daniel Sandoval, he is no stranger to showing up at X Games Park competition and delivering.
Pacifico BMX Park is underway. We'll break down the format, but we're just making sure you all know that we are here in Minneapolis, and Daniel Sandoval, gold in park in 2015, is getting his wheels underneath his feet.
So Daniel Sandoval, he's gotten a gold medal before. He knows what it takes to be out on the top. He's ridden this format.
We have an opportunity to take a look back and break down some of these tricks.
There's a flare bar spin. He's going from the concrete quarter pipe with the pool coping to the Pacifico fiberglass wall right there.
And we will now show you some of the stallions that are ready to light it up. We have 2 6-packs making 12. Sandoval, Casey, all the way down to Logan Martin, the Aussie, looking to defend that gold. Top 3 advance out of this. And it's a jam format, new this year, Scotty.
So the jam format has been before. Pat Casey missing the wall at the tail up right there.
We didn't give him a proper introduction, that's probably why. So Pat Casey, a silver and a bronze. Been a minute since he's earned it, and here's the format.
12 athletes, 2 heats of 6. It's a 15-minute jam format, 30-second maximum run. The score is on overall impression, and like E said earlier, top 3 from each heat advance into the final. So it's crucial. You got to beat 3 guys in your heat to move on.
That's the way it works. And in this semifinal, 4 former X Games gold medalists, Sandoval, who we've seen, Lupos, Baldock, and Martin, and that is just a testament to how strong this field is. And we go on with Larry Edgar. Best is a 6th place in 2018, working his way up the ranks with determination and nice flow.
You could see straight off the bat, he is going higher than any of the other riders so far. And look at that massive tabletop transfer. That is a big quarter pipe, Uncle Lee. And we've been watching some of the practice. This quarter pipe right here, he's been going over the height of that wall ride.
Insane. Custom-made park here. And we're going to touch on that storyline. You hear the sounder right there. That ends it. And down below, we have Chris Doyle. And we're gonna get him in just a minute, but right now, Scott, bring us down this trick.
So Larry's known for big combinations at height. You can see that tabletop, clicking it, flying all the way over from one side of that quarter pipe to the other. You can see he tagged back wheel a little bit right there, landing on top of the coping. That's gonna slow him down, but he barely tagged. That was good.
So while Brandon Lupos drops in, we're gonna bring in Chris Doyle. Chris, what's the energy down there, and how are the athletes liking the track?
Well, as you can see, all the riders seem to really enjoy this course. They're shaking off these first run jitters. They're getting used to everything. And we're looking at Brandon Lupos right now, the 360 double tail whip, classic look back. Now, these guys just aren't bike riders anymore. They are conditioned athletes. You need to have some serious endurance to be able to put down runs like this and stay consistent.
Lupos is doing double duty. We'll see him tonight for the dirt finals as well. So he's got one under his belt. And Scotty, you know, being a defending gold medalist, that feels good to get the first one underneath.
Oh, it definitely is. You know, if you come out there and you screw up on your first run, that is going to play a big mental factor on the rest of your day. These guys know they need perfection to be able to get into that final and get a chance to get a medal.
If you're just tuning in, welcome. Nice to have you. This is Kyle Baldock in the semifinal 1 of the Pacifico BMX Park event. Oh, and he just gets hung up, and it's a shame. I mean, he's down and out for his first run.
So I'll tell you what, if you fall in the beginning of your run, that's substantially worse than falling at the end of your run, because this is overall impression today. So if you have one show out there, as soon as you fall, that means you're done. You have to get out of the bowl. So that's a tough break for Kyle Baldock.
Well, we talked about it on the front end of the show. We'll talk about him now. Look at the tenacity and the skill. Logan Martin, defending gold medalist.
So far, so good. Starting things off with that 720 bar spin over that box jump. Logan knows how to put all the right tricks in all the right places. Perfect example right there. Flared downside tail whip. But what's so important about Logan Martin's riding is his ability to do these big tricks.
Uncharacteristic.
And now he's got a flat tire. That loud bang right there was the front tire exploding. But what's good about this is his front tire. So that's an easier fix than the back tire, because you don't have to deal with taking off the chain. So he's got to get to work, though, because he's only got a total of about 3 minutes until he goes back on.
So is this like NASCAR? Is there a pit crew down there just wrenching and turning them?
It kind of is. There is a guy named Dustin that shows up here and helps out. So I'm sure he's going to be helping Logan getting things ready.
All right, back to the top of the order. Just over 10 minutes remaining. 15-minute jam session. Pacifico BMX Park.
Massive
spin to
trick
win.
right there.
Daniel Sandoval.
Double whip, Uncle Lee. That was the biggest trick we've seen on the quarter pipe of this competition so far.
10th X Game appearance. 4-time medalist out of Corona, California. Let's enjoy him right now as he's wrapping up.
Look at that Vader, and I think this is going to count because it continues on.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that was an awesome move to end.
Good strategy.
But here's that replay of that flared double tail whip. Look how he's upside down, his legs are straight up in the air, catches it perfect, and commands the bike back into the transition.
You're getting a feel for how this is going. No official scores. It's a jam format based on overall impression. Pat Casey's getting it going. Hey, Mr. Doyle, why is it so hard to repeat a medal out of here after 9 years? No repeats. What's the story on that?
Well, it's just the most competitive discipline here at all of X Games, and you see a lot of these guys very uncharacteristic for them to be messing up early. And one thing I want to mention here about Pat Casey's run, he started his run off with a 180 tail whip over the spine and kept the flow going. Similar to dirt jumping, these guys have to keep a flow, keep a rhythm. If you see them pedaling a little bit too much, that's not necessarily a good thing. You want to keep the flow, you want to land high on the transitions and keep your speed going, sometimes without pedaling.
And like Chris was saying, he did a fakie trick in the beginning of his run, which was great, because that was a good way to start it. But you can see at the end, he fell on the buzzer doing a fakie trick.
Larry Edgar, Corona, California as well, dropping in, getting smooth. You see he's ranked in third presently. The top 3 out of this 15-minute heat will advance to the finals, and he's flying through with some energy.
Look at that 450 transfer from that quarter pipe into that spine. That was a good use of course. And he's got the tricks as well. He can combine the big airs, the stylish tricks, but he also can do tricks like the double tail whip, which the judges are definitely going to reward him on.
And he's got 10 seconds on the ticker left. He's got ebb and flow working for him. Like what I see, he has to pedal a bit. He's got smiles. The crowd loves it.
So here's a replay of Larry Edgar, a nice big flare. And this is on the 6-foot quarter pipe, and there's a lot of different transitions here. We have 10-foot quarter pipes, we have 6-foot quarter pipes, and a lot of the guys will be doing their flare tricks on the 6-foot to the 8-foot quarter pipe.
Well, Larry worked as a valet at the Angels Stadium in Anaheim to afford his BMX career. How's that?
It's pretty amazing what these guys sacrifice to live out their dreams.
Yeah, double duty for this young man. Brandon Lupos out of Sydney, Australia, currently in that 3rd position. Again, Pacifico BMX Park qualifying, heat 1 of 2 right now.
So far, so good for Brandon Lupos. Like we talked about it earlier, he's doing double duty. He's a gold medalist in dirt, and he's got some of the biggest tricks out there, and he's able to bring them onto the park course like that. And that's a great way to end your run with that 540 flare.
That leaves a lasting impression with the judges. One more look at it.
So check this out. He starts flipping, and then he's got to stall the flip and spin the 540 rotation. Looking around for the landing, commanding the bike. Great way to end your run.
10 X Games, 10 medals for Kyle Bullock, hailing from the Gold Coast. A surfer and also a ripper in the park, and he's showing you why right now. He's currently at 6th. He needs to up the ante and be clean.
We talked about it earlier. Kyle fell on his first trick of his first run. So he started from scratch. He's got a clear deck right now. He's got to prove himself in these judges' eyes to move on.
5 seconds left. He's got the timing down. Way better than his first run. The wall ride, bonks it, and clean. That's going to move him up in the ranks. Top 3, you see Sandoval, Edgar, Lupos.
So here's Kyle spinning the cork 720 over the box jump, and we refer to the word cork because the 720 can be spun flat, which your wheels will be facing down the whole time. These guys are going upside down to bring the bike into the transition smooth.
Solid for Logan Martin, defending gold medalist, showing you what he's made of here. Variety of trick, fluidity, all together.
So Logan had a crash, very uncharacteristic in the beginning of run number 1. That's why he is not currently in the top 3. But look what he's bringing so far. This is the highest packed run of tricks, volume, speed, everything. This is typical Logan Martin we're seeing right now.
And with a couple of seconds left, that's going to be it for him right. There's the bell, and that was fluid. No crash. Guaranteed that's going to move him up the ranks.
Definitely.
15 minutes on the clock to begin with. And we go back to the start order for Sandoval. We have one more run for these guys. More to come when we come back, and these messages from our ABC station. Stick around.
X Games Minneapolis is brought to you by Wendy's, the official bacon sponsor of X Games Minneapolis. And NextCare First Aid Products.
And we are back at it for fun time. Sunlight shining through US Bank Stadium here, X Games Minneapolis 2019. We're in the midst of what's known as the Pacifico BMX Park Semifinals. We have 2 6-packs of riders in this Pacifico BMX Park event. Hello, Uncle Lee with Scotty Kramer, Mr. Doyle down below. And Mr. Doyle, since you're down in the mix, Daniel Sandoval dropping in for potentially his final run. What do you see?
Well, if Sandoval's last run here is anything like his last 2 runs, then we are in for a treat. He did not come to play. He is all business here in X Games Park. He is absolutely ripping right now, straight out of Corona, California. You should have seen the park that Daniel grew up riding at. It is not anything like this. It's a much smaller concrete park. So I give Daniel a lot of credit for everything that he can do, because he didn't have the benefit of growing up at a big park like a lot of these other guys did. So good for Daniel. He's an impressive showing right now, and he's looking solid.
Keeping that consistency alive. You see in the upper left-hand corner, he's in 2nd place. We're taking the top 3 out of these 6 into the finals. Following this, in about 5 minutes time, we'll have our 2nd 6-pack. And dropping in now, Pat Casey doing park and dirt. And he's got 2 kids, so he's doing parental duty and BMX double duty as well, Scotty.
Yeah, it's amazing to see Pat adapt to being a father. His son Reed loves riding BMX. He is going to be in the X Games in the future. I can promise you that, Uncle Lee. But look at Pat so far. He's having a great day. You know, for the most part, he had a little mess up at the end of his run, but he's doing big tricks like this truck to tail whip over that box jump. That's a 360, a bar spin, and a tail whip combined. And Pat's so good at doing the technical tricks, and he's also great at going fakie.
So, looking back, if you take a look at the leaderboard up on the left, Sandoval, that previous run, bumped up to 1st place, puts Logan Martin, defending gold medalist, in 2nd. But remember, only the top 3 move on, so Martin will be the last to go. Let's shift it over to Larry Edgar. He's currently on the outside looking in 4th place. He too hailing from Corona. A little challenged career growing up.
Look at that line he just brought in, Uncle Lee.
Yeah,
First guy to drop that one, bringing that crazy speed around that bowl corner. I was wondering where he was going with that one. That's an original line the judges will reward him on. But look at that height over that box jump, pumping around. It's amazing to see the different riders and their different approaches to these courses. It's not like everybody's cut from the same cloth. There is different BMX happening all around.
Yeah, it is fun. Just check out the one-hander. Looks like he's tapping the wall there. You see the dark marks up there. Matt Hoffman loving what he's seeing. We had a chance to talk to him about the big air last night. What did he say to you?
Oh, he loved every second of it. You know, Matt Hoffman is the inventor of BMX Big Air. He's been doing it for years, so he loved it.
Brandon Lupos with a sick trick and a great camera angle right there.
Tail whip. But he's starting things off because he knows he is not in it right now. Straight to the cash roll. If you want to get into this final, you know you have to step it up, and Brandon Lupos is doing this heavily. He's currently not in that top 3, which is so crucial to be in to get a chance to get a medal today.
Yeah, so Pat Casey, who's in 3rd right now, shaking in his boots just a little bit because Lupos out of Sydney's putting down a burner right now.
That's a big run, Uncle Lee. That's exactly what he needed to do to get into the mix. Look at the replay. This is the cash roll. This is a 360 front flip variation. It's off axis. It's like a mix between a 720 with a forward access and a front flip 360.
Yeah, spotting the landing, good visual air awareness. We move it on now to Kyle Baldock, doing park and dirt as well. Took a gold in Brazil back in 2013. Been a minute since he's been on the podium. Doyle, how's the perspective down there?
Well, one thing I want to talk about is how you got a lot of these big trick guys, and then you have a guy like Larry Edgar who's riding the course a lot different, not doing some of the most impressive tricks, but he's really utilizing the course to his best ability and going higher than all these guys. So it's really going to come down to pressure on the judges. How do you judge some of these tricks against a guy that's going, 10, 14 feet off of some of these quarters? I am so happy I am not a judge at this competition.
Yeah, a little different format than the past here. And we are dialing it in now with Logan Martin, final competitor of this run here. It goes. We have some time potentially left here to get another round in.
So Logan, you know, he had that rough crash in that first run, but he showed up and he got himself back into second position after that second run he did. So he's got to feel really good about this, but he's not in the clear yet. He needs to command right now and stay at that top level to be able to have a potential to get a repeat of the gold medal.
Yeah, so you can hear the sound there. The bell ends, there's 30 seconds left. If one person from the Heat drops in, everybody gets a ride. So it looks like we're gonna be the beneficiaries of some more action here as Sandoval, top of the order, dials it in. So here's the last rotation, 6 more runs, so we get a bonus, a rebate coupon, if you will. Sandoval outside looking in.
Nice transfer from Sandoval with that tail whip to no-hander combination. And what I really like about this park is the different transitions. There's a lot of chances for the guys to do transfer lines, and there's a lot of opportunities to do tricks. So this is a really cool park, and you can tell the guys are riding it amazing.
Again, Pacifico BMX Park. This is the final run. There's gonna be 6 guys going in sequential order, vying for 3 spots. You see Sandoval, Martin, and Casey on the top 3 right now. This is Sandoval finishing his final run. He'll sit there and wait for the rest of the field now to see if he can make the finals. So if you're not in the top 3, Scott, you've been here before. What's your game plan?
There's a lot of pressure that comes on you, and I said it before. It's riders that are at an elite level that can take that pressure and take those nerves and turn it into energy to go out there and deliver on that key right there. So the guys are starting to get to the end of it where you're like, all right, I have these tricks that I've been planning, these tricks that I want to deliver, but here's your opportunity. You have to make it to the final. This is how it goes.
Pat Casey, father of 2, made it here via the Boise qualifier back in June, and he's in that 3rd bubble spot right now, so he's gonna sit up there and watch the next competitors come through, and there's a couple that can knock him off. One of them being this guy, Larry Edgar, that Mr. Doyle was talking about before. Doyle, why don't you walk us through this one here?
Well, this is where that conditioning comes into play. I mean, this is 4 runs that these guys are getting, and look at the air from Larry Edgar. I don't think anyone is as conditioned as Larry Edgar on this course. I mean, he's rocking about a 3% body fat right now, and he does a lot of work in the gym. He spends a lot of time on the bike. This guy is a true athlete. And look at this big 360 nose diving, just lots of style, tons of height. Larry truly is the rider's rider. Everyone can relate to what Larry Edgar does.
And in training and on TV right now, always smiling, just an advocate for happiness. Stoked. Larry Edgar, we'll see if that's going to be enough. Lupos, you see the time of 30 seconds starts now. He's in 4th, so he is looking to knock off Pat Casey here.
That was a big trick right there, Uncle Lee. That backflip double tail whip he did over the hip, it was almost like a bit of a lean, similar to like a flare. That was really difficult to do.
Difficulty, flow, a variety of tricks, smooth landings. That's what it's all about here at BMX Park, Pacifico style. Brandon Lupos rounds it off. That is his final run with 2 competitors remaining. One of them is Logan Martin, who's already qualified. This is the last guy who has a chance to squeeze in, and he's on the outside looking in. Kyle Bolduc on course.
Kyle with the flare double whip. He lands the trick, he landed a little low, and like Chris was talking about, you want to be able to keep the flow of the ride in here. So the judges don't want to see you pedal as much as if you don't have to. It's a tough break right there, doing that flip whip over the hip and having to take his feet off to secure the landing.
Chances are, with the level of competition, feet off, those 3 on the left are going to stay just as is. And Logan Martin, he's already qualified because he's in 2nd place. No one else can knock him off. So a modified training, we're not going to say victory lap at all, but a training run as he's going into the finals to see if he can defend his gold medal.
Wow, he's not holding back at all. He just did a triple bar spin over that chasm right there. Really technical trick, and I love the use of that wall ride that they put on the course this year. That's going to give riders an opportunity, especially riders like Dennis Anderson that's coming up in heat number 2.
Yeah, remember this Pacifico BMX Park event is a 3-part series, if you will. This is 1. We'll do the same thing with 6 more, and then we'll go into the finals. We got babies, we got moms, we have BMX athletes. It promises to be a great one. Stick around as we have a whole lot more here with great BMX park riding And we'll see more after this message and a word from our ABC stations. All sorts of great stuff out here, including X Games launching Shred Hate a few years back. Working with the nonprofit organization No Bully to reduce bullying in school. Simple as that. What a simply great cause. You got some experience with this guy.
Yeah, it's great to see X Games so involved in pushing this movement. It's such an important message to get out there, especially, you know, delivering at skate parks and for all the skaters, BMX riders. It's really important.
Yeah, no point to be bullying. Just be nice. Be like Peraza, you know?
Yes.
We'll talk about him.
Have a smile on your
Super
face.
positivity, yeah, all the way around. Good stuff. Okay, so we finished up a six-pack. We'll give you the unofficial results in just a minute, but we're ready now for what's known as the Pacifico BMX Park, round number 2. But before we get going there, semifinal number 2, before we get there, it's time to bring in a rookie. We got a storyline here. Before we do that, we're gonna show you the semis. We've got some updated information for you. Men's BMX Park. Here's what went down with the first 6 as we qualified 3. Brandon Lupos advancing to the final.
Yeah, he had amazing riding, such control, so many unique tricks like this cash roll he delivered over the box jump. It was great to see Brandon step up and get into the final to get a chance possibly to get a medal.
Yeah, and how about Sandoval? First one to go. He had solid presentation, good fluidity, and moved on to the next round.
Yeah, it's amazing to see Sandoval just keep on stepping up and keep on coming to BMX Park and doing what it takes to keep on moving on.
And then Logan Martin, he's going for back-to-back gold medals here, unprecedented in the last 9 years. Let's see if he can do it into the finals.
I think he can do it.
You think
He's
so?
got such a great, approach to this course. He's got so many big tricks, and he's consistent as can be.
And here are the official results of that heat. As we just saw the three there moving on, Martin, Sandoval, and Lupus, Casey, Edgar, Baldock, they will be sidelined, watching, waiting for another year for another chance at a medal. All right, we take a little deep breath. We're getting geared up for heat number 2. But first, Kevin Peraza, this stallion, super positive, has 2 X Games gold, one from dirt in 16, one from park in 17. Just missed a medal in 2018. Now let's learn a bit more about Mr. Positivity in this Great Clips athlete profile. Hit it.
Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Peraza and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
There it is! That is the single highest run score we have seen to date.
Having a BMX dirt gold medal from 2016 and a BMX park gold medal in 2017 and being this close from getting a medal in 2018, I think what it's going to take for me to be back on the podium is being healthy, feeling comfortable on my bike, feeling comfortable on the course, and being there in front of that crowd and everyone there at X Games. My family and everyone will be there supporting me. So if I walk away on the top spot in both the events, I'm gonna be super happy, on cloud 9, speechless. And if not, I'm gonna be just as happy and just as excited. I'm at another X Games, I'm already winning by being here, and just very lucky to be one of these dudes out here.
How about that? How about a hashtag Perazativity, huh?
Pretty good, I like that.
There, yeah. No shred hate there, that's all shred stoke. Okay, we're gearing up for our second Pacifico BMX Park heat. Who are we looking for? I understand we got 3 rookies in this one.
We do. We also have Dennis Anderson, last year's silver medalist, but we have a newcomer, the youngest guy in the competition, 16-year-old Marcus Christopher. He made it in through Boise, Idaho, and he actually qualified first with some big tricks and consistent riding. So, I've been watching him in practice. He looks fantastic on this course. It's a 10% chance, that's what they say, but he can get on the podium today.
That's the golden ticket right there. That was a golden ticket in Boise. Sends you from Boise, the qualifier, to here. He slayed the field there, and he's ready to get it on. This is not him. We'll get to the rookies in just a minute, and we're going to do 6 of them in 15 minutes. There's the clock. We're starting things off. And from Ohio, the 27-year-old doing dirt, and right now, park. This is Nick Bruce underway in his first full X Games experience.
It's great to see Nick Bruce back on the course. He had a crash at the Boise qualifier. He actually had some facial fractures. So he didn't know if he was actually going to make it to this competition. So just him being here on this course is a win for sure. But if you could do flip whips over a box jump like that too, that's definitely a plus.
Well, it's a good thing he doesn't have to ride on his face, so. And there you hear the sound of that bell if you're just tuning in. This is the Pacifico BMX Park, semifinal number 2. 6 guys within 15 minutes get as many runs in sequential order as they can, and we'll take the top 3. And look at this, from the land of the rising sun, a rookie at 17 years young, Rim Nakamura.
Amazing rider, the first Japanese rider to enter BMX Park. He has such great skill. He goes so incredibly high, and he's awesome at putting in combinations at such a fast speed. You can tell that 360 downside tail whip to tuck no hander. I've never seen that before, especially over a box jump of that size. That's not a huge box jump. That's a small ramp.
That's a small ramp. Well, Chris Doyle, at one point in his career, was a rookie. What goes through your mind in your maiden voyage here at the X Games?
Man, you just want to get that first run done, get a good score under your belt, and just really try to impress the judges and let them know that you're here for a reason. And Rip Nakamura did just that. When he rides, you got to keep your eyes in the skies. He's got some big airs for a little guy like that.
No expectations. That was one rookie. We now go to Argentina, South America, different hemisphere. We got a rookie by the name of Jose Torres. Shoulder issue right now. We'll see if that affects him at full strength.
It's terrible to see him coming in here down a cylinder because last year he actually did so well at the Boise qualifier, and he got injured in his second run and didn't even get a chance to ride in last year's X Games. So he finally gets his chance, and then he gets a shoulder injury right before. But I'm gonna be honest with you, so far so good.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's holding him back too much. I mean, if you do a trick like that tuck no-hander when you're reaching, you know, your arm back, that's probably gonna be a hard one to pull off. But so far so good.
Yeah, 3 athletes so far. They've all maintained their composure, putting a score down. Again, 15-minute heats. You see the clock on the upper left by the Pacifico banner. We're going to go now with a 16-year-old. We talked about it on the front end. Rookie, youngster, his freshman effort. Welcome from Hartville, Ohio to the X Games Minneapolis, Marcus Christopher.
Marcus Christopher has been looking so good in practice. Look at that triple downside tail whip on that transfer.
Love it.
And what's amazing about Marcus Christopher, he's 16 years old. He's just getting started in his pro career. My little brother is actually friends with Marcus Christopher for a while now. When he was about 10 years old, my little brother actually went to his house in Ohio. My dad was there. They were hanging out with his family and the Bulldogs. But look at that 540 flare. He has definitely grown up substantially since then.
Dude, he's built for 16. Look at the pipes on this guy.
It's the truth. And if you're doing tricks like this, triple tail whips on a daily basis, you are going to be a strong guy. I can promise you that one.
Hey, Doyle, I'm going to ask you a question here. I think you know the answer. We'll see. Do you know who Marcus Christopher's idol is?
Is it me or is it Scotty?
You know, it's both of you. A couple of legends of BMX here, Kramer and Doyle. And we're looking at Dennis Emerson, a veteran, 15th X Game appearance. So much to say about this guy, Scotty.
Yeah, Dennis Anderson, Chris was saying earlier, he called him the rider's rider. And the reason why, he's got such a unique approach to BMX. He does it traditionally, but he puts his own touch on it. So Dennis actually did a really cool trick in the beginning. He did a bar spin to wall ride. First person we've seen do and land a trick out of that wall ride. So that was really cool.
In Austin, 2016, he earned a gold, one of his 6 medals in this discipline. And the rider's rider finishing his first. There he is. There it is, Fisher. Hashtag positivity. I'm dubbing that one because we were talking to his dad before, man. His dad smiles. His dad still rides. Kind of a legend papa in the industry, huh?
It's amazing. Their family is revolving around BMX. Not only does Kevin ride, he also has 3 brothers that are all passionate about BMX, riding nonstop.
And if you happen to watch any of the dirt eliminations, he had a really tricky fall. Hurt his ankle a little bit of sprain, but it's not showing him. Excuse me, his knee, jacked his knee a little bit, but it's not phasing him in the least bit right now.
Oh, that was
jinxed him.
Tough crash right there. Hanging up the back wheel in the pool coping, but it's great to see Kevin back up riding away.
Yeah, 8th X Games, 2 gold medals, 1 in the dirt, 1 in the park. Took a 4th here last year, and you can see him reaching down to that knee. Well, welcome on in. Continuing on, just under 10 minutes of 15. Rim, Nakamura, Jose Torres, and Dennis Anderson presently unofficially are the top 3. This is Nick Bruce on his second run.
Nick Bruce starting things off with a flare drop-in. That is such a technical trick. It's amazing to see that BMX at this point is capable of doing that. And look at Nick Bruce landing that wall ride to tail whip off of that huge wall ride. And I think it's amazing that they actually put in things like sub boxes and the wall rides here in the course to diversify BMX, give the guys more opportunities to do tricks.
So you don't just show up to the X Games, there is criteria. It's a road to X, there's a qualifier, there's other series of events. If you place in the top 3, you get an automatic invite back. So there is sport and competition folks here that iron all this stuff out. This, for all intents and purposes, is the Super Bowl of all things action sports. And we're going now with a rookie, Rim Nakamura, looking for a podium spot. Eventually.
Rim definitely upped the ante on his run number 2. He did a 720 bar spin over the box, which is a big trick. And Chris was talking about earlier, he goes so high. Look at that tabletop, transferring all the way across the box jump. And now that box jump, you can see, has that rail in the middle of it. And a lot of guys, that's starting to mess with their head because they have to be very strategic on how they approach that ramp so they don't get in the way of that rail while they're doing their tricks.
So speaking of rookies, the Japanese rookie medalists so far at X Games Minneapolis 2019. In the women's side of things, Skateboard Park, we had a 13 and a 10-year-old, Masugo and Kokona, yesterday in Skateboard Park that have already medaled. So it is possible to get a medal as a rookie. We'll see if it can happen here at BMX Park. Who's next?
Jose Torres is on the course. We talked about him earlier. He is handling a shoulder injury. You know, clearly he is riding, you know, like you wouldn't even know that he was hurt, but it plays a factor in your mind. You know, you're running down from normal, and you know you can't ride as hard, but you're here at the X Games. This is your opportunity to, you know, have your name on the biggest show in BMX right here. So he's going to give it all he's got.
Takes a breather, stops, and opens the door for another rookie, our 16-year-old. We've been hitting him hard. Toned, set, no expectations. First time at the X Games. Ohio's own Marcus Christopher. Second run.
Nice flare, bar spin to bar spin. That is a sick combination, especially going that high on such a big quarter pipe like it was.
You know, he's got the opportunity to become the youngest BMX medalist in X Games history. First, he's got to get through this qualifying round. Again, taking the top 3, and he's getting some great amplitude and keeping the flow going on the waning seconds of his second run.
That was a good choice to do that flare downside tail whip at the end of your run, because that's a trick. If you land low, here it is in slow-mo. So if you land low on this trick, this is going to eliminate your speed, and it's going to ruin your flow. So he put this at the end of his run. You can see he's trying to find his pedals the best he could. He survived it, though.
Well, let's talk to Chris Doyle about the rider's rider, Dennis Anderson, having a go at it. Won a gold in Austin. What do you like so much about him, Chris?
Well, if anyone's going to ride this course differently than the other riders and the rest of the pack, that is Mr. Dennis Anderson. He's got a lot of different transfers and a lot of different tricks that we're not going to see out of the other riders. Case in point, right there, the big downside fast plant. Shout out to Dave Volker for being the pioneer of one of those tricks. Look at that, that double truck driver over the box. Notice how he's not doing anything that the other guys are doing. He's standing out, which the judges love.
And Anderson wraps it up. His first X Games was 2007. The heavy, most experienced rider in this field. And he wraps it up, and we move on down the line to, there he is, Kevin Peraza was reaching for his right knee. He's rolling with some injuries right now, but see if he can't put it together.
Kevin Peraza is a tough competitor. He's always been this way. He just loves being on his bike. So even if his knee is bothering him, even if it wasn't the X Games, he would be on this course and he would be riding his heart out.
Well, there is the adrenaline also that gets it going. You really don't feel a lot of this stuff until the next morning.
That is true. Look at that beautiful 360 tuck no-hander. And talking a little bit, you know, similar to Dennis Anderson, Kevin Peraza is respected in our sport because the tricks that he does complete and he does proper.
Peraza is his name, yep.
Look at that, holding that no-hander so aggressively out there, dipping the bike out to the side. That is just classic BMX, and that's how the trick is supposed to look.
He did that so well. It kept the white shoes nice and clean. But right out. That's going to wrap it up for right now. We got a little bit more. Oh, last night's gold medalist in big air, Ryan Williams, taking a peek in. We'll be back after these messages from our ABC station. The greatness, the fun, the madness continues, known as the Pacifico BMX Park Semifinal round number 2. We're inching closer to qualifying 3 more to join the 3 already qualified from round number 1. Uncle Lee alongside Scotty Kramer, Chris Doyle down in the park, and we continue on with Nick Bruce. He's got 30 seconds to see if he can't inch himself up from 6th place into the transfer spots.
So just can't stress it enough how important this semifinal is right here, because after this is finished, these riders are going to potentially, if they get in the top 3 of their heat, go into the next final round, and they're only going to have about 10 minutes to get a break. So it's going to be really important that these guys get their best runs, get in there, and then get ready for the final to hopefully get in the podium.
The noise you hear in the background, that modified bell, that ends the 30-second march for his campaign. It looks like there's probably an opportunity for one more full round. So again, 6 athletes in each one of these heats. We've wrapped up 1 6-pack. We're on to the 3rd. Here goes a 17-year-old Rim Nakamura. You see, he's number 1 right now thus far, so he's going to try to up his game and secure a spot into the finals.
Look at that beautiful combination and the height. We can't stress that enough. A 17-year-old to have that much confidence on a course and go that high, and this is a concrete course. It's very unforgiving. But look at the combination he just threw as well. Such an awesome rider to watch.
We mentioned it before, but worth noting, 0% chance, because no one's done it, to get a gold medal in the park discipline in BMX. First Japanese rider to compete in park, and that's just a testament to this sport and the X Games as well.
It's hard to be a rookie in this sport, Uncle Lee.
But no expectations, as Chris mentioned, right? And let's go with another rookie from Argentina. 2nd Argentinian BMX rider ever in the 24 years the X Games has been underway, Jose Torres.
Jose Torres has made a name for himself in the BMX world as a guy that goes extremely high, but he's got such classic tricks. Like we were talking about Kevin Peraza. He does his tricks, he holds them, he makes them look great, and Jose does the same.
He's in that 4th spot, as you can see, underneath the ticking clock in yellow. Here's the bell. That rounds it off, so he's looking to inch or knock Kevin Peraza off right there. And our judges doing really diligent, fast work. These are all unofficial until they are made official. So we're just giving you a rundown. Doyle, you got a rookie right down near you. What's happening?
Well, Marcus Christopher is on the course, and it's worth noting that Marcus got about a quarter of the practice as the rest of the guys. He got here late, he missed the first practice, he missed his second practice, so he's making up a lot of ground right now, and he's really doing his best work. There's that 360 backflip with a no-hander. He's got his own little training facility at his house in Ohio, and he actually rides a lot with Mr. Nick Bruce, so you can see a lot of similarities between those 2 guys.
Look at this kid, 16 and just claiming it, Scotty.
That run was unbelievable. Like, I'm sitting here with my jaw dropped because what he just did for a 16-year-old is unheard of.
Look at the physique on the kid. He's 16, he's 5'6", 155. Solid presentation by the young gun. Big things coming out of Marcus Christopher. Now we'll look at the super smooth veteran, Dennis Anderson.
Look at that transfer, that manual line, going from that plexiglass quarter pipe, pulling out as a pocket and going to that manual. That was so unique. And another one transferring from that hip all the way into the plexiglass. And we were just talking about that. Dennis Anderson has such a unique approach to the course. And it's not only because he's a veteran, he's just that good of a BMX rider.
Well, he sees it differently because he's been doing it so much longer, right?
It's true. You know, he's been doing it at every course that he shows up at. He finds the unique lines. It doesn't matter whether he's sessioning at a skate park or he's showing up to the biggest competition like the X Games.
Peraza getting some love from Anderson. He's in the white long sleeve. Here he goes. One of 4 brothers. Dad Victor, also a BMX rider. Always rooting him on, always at the competitions. Here goes his 3rd run.
Nice Superman secret. Oh, he just had to put that foot down. It looked like he was getting very close to that rail as well. I wonder if that played a little bit of a mental game with him.
So you see his ranking of 5th, and anytime you're coming off the pedals, not keeping that fluidity, the judges start knocking some points out there, and we've seen better runs out of Peraza.
I will bring it up right there, though. That was the trick that he did in dirt that actually took him out, that gave him that initial injury. So awesome to see him go back and get redemption on that trick.
Yeah, it's still smiling regardless. 50 seconds and change once one person drops in. That qualifies everybody else for another one, so we'll go to the top of the order. This is Nick Bruce out of Youngstown, Ohio. 4 fractures in his face from the qualifier in Boise back in June. And he manned up, showed up because it's the X Games, and here he goes for his final mission.
And that's so hard to do. When you have an injury like that, you're coming back into the game. You know, it's gonna play a little bit of toll, but so far he is showing up and he's putting on a show for the crowd, and that's what's awesome. You gotta, you know, it's not all about getting the medal sometimes. It's all about conquering your fears, conquering these challenges that are presented in front of you.
As the legend Matt Hoffman, he's allowed on the inside because he's Matt Hoffman. Everyone else has to stay behind the fence. Here goes the 17-year-old rookie, Nakamura, who's holding that top spot right now, knocking down giants.
Triple bar spin at height out of that awkward quarter pipe. That thing is like mellow and it's got pool coping on it. So just goes to show how talented this kid really is.
How's it looking down there, Doyle? Oh.
Well, unfortunately, just watching a guy like Rim Nakamura go down is very uncharacteristic. But check out these replays. Look at the height. Look at this bar spin. Bar spin to tuck no-hander at height. I mean, this is the 4th visit to the course, too. So these guys are getting more and more tired. This is where that conditioning really comes into play.
Rookie Jose Torres, his final go at it. He's in 3rd place, so he's going to look to see if he can up it just a bit to secure a spot.
So watching practice, Jose Torres didn't do any tricks. All he did was cruise around the course and get his run dialed in. So all these tricks that he's doing right now, this is his first attempt at trying this. So that shows you just how impressive of a rider Jose Torres is. He didn't want to hurt himself further, so he figured he'd hold back and wait until the moment to step up.
Yeah, keep in mind, we mentioned it earlier, shoulder issue, not running at full strength, so playing a smart, conservative game, the Argentinian in his rookie voyage. Here goes young gun, freshman effort again, who's he's in the outside looking in, so he's going to put everything to the test here. Marcus Christopher, foot coming off.
Yeah, he did hold it up, which is good. He didn't let it touch the ground, but I'm going to be honest. I think Marcus's last run was the best run we've seen in this heat, because there were so many technical tricks and original tricks that he did.
Yeah, keep in mind, the leaderboard you see on the left is unofficial. There can be a change. Judges go back to it afterwards and make sure it's solid. That's Marcus Christopher, the 16-year-old sensation out of Ohio, showing you his fervor.
Look at the power, another triple tail whip. You know, we're getting the replay. There's so much control, so much technique that these guys put into their riding.
Landed low right there. You'd like to see that smooth transition there, but good risk reward. Here goes Anderson, who's in that 2nd spot unofficially. Remember, this Pacifico BMX Park competition, we start with 12, we chop it down to 6, 3 out of each heat. Time has expired. 2nd to last run. Peraza will be final. This is Dennis Anderson. Dennis
Anderson is having such a good ride here in this super final. He's doing so many original tricks. I know we talked about that a lot, but you have to, you know, give him credit where credit's due. Like, look at that trick he just squeezed into the run. He did an abubica, but he did a tire press in that corner because he's got no brakes. So he used the force of his bike wedged against that to be able to land that trick. That's really cool.
Hey, Scotty, it's really a testament to how Dennis rides this course. A lot of the tricks that he's doing were invented in the mid-90s, but he's just riding the course so much different than everybody else.
It's the truth, and we've been seeing him do that for years. It's awesome to see him have his own, you know, touch on BMX, and it doesn't stop here on this course. He does it in street, and he also does it in dirt.
Back in the 20th century, Peraza here, the 24-year-old out of Tucson, Arizona. He is in the outside looking in unofficially, looking for a transfer spot into the finals. There's the bell. That ends semifinal number 2, and Peraza's not done. A little showboat for y'all.
Gets the approval from Matt Hoffman right there. That was all worth it.
It's worth its weight in gold. Filling some seats out here on a beautiful Saturday in Minneapolis. 3rd year the X Games has been here. We're coming back next year as well, just to keep you all up to date. We'll head to Aspen in January 23 through 26, 2020. Lots of great stuff in the name of action sports. Rim Nakamura, you're taking a peek at the 17-year-old sensation, looking to be the first Japanese medalist in BMX Park. No expectations because he hasn't been here before. And then Marcus Christopher in the orange, rocking the Dukes of Hazzard 01. Love it.
So much big riding from so many of these rookies. So cool to see them step up. I remember being a rookie back in 2003. It's stressful.
It's
a
stressful.
hard
There's
task.
the results. Rem Nakamura, Dennis Anderson, the vet, and Jose Torres from Argentina making it in. And Peraza and the rookie Christopher not making it, nor Nick Bruce. So that's how it all shakes out here at the dialing in the Pacifico BMX Dirt. Oh my goodness. Look at this, getting the X. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Jack.
Oh, yeah. A picture-perfect day here for X Games Minneapolis 2019 as the sun shines over US Bank Stadium. And this Pacifico BMX Park is going off. And it's also going off here behind the scenes in the athlete. A picture-perfect day here for X Games Minneapolis 2019 as the sun shines over US Bank Stadium. And this Pacifico BMX Park is going off. And it's also going off here behind the scenes in the athlete lounge. They literally have everything here for the athletes, because when you provide the best for the athletes, they're gonna do their best. They got ice machines, compression machines. They got healthy food and drink options, acai bowls. You can even get a haircut. You can even shave an X in your chest if you're feeling it. It's revolutionary back here. And you know what else is revolutionary? The youth movement in Women's Skateboard Park. And if you missed it yesterday, here it is again.
What's happening, everybody? Brandon Graham alongside the legend Lindsay Adams, Hawkins Pastrana. We are so excited for this final that features a 10-year-old an 11-year-old, but it's the 13-year-old Masugu Osamoto who is storming this course.
Storming it. She just came in like a storm from the south. She's blowing up. She's going higher than anybody else, doing more difficult tricks than most of the girls, and she blows my mind. I can't even, I don't even have words because it's so exciting to see her
we need
skate.
you to come up with something because we got a big
words.
final coming up. We had 2 semifinals to get us here to our top 6 in the final. Look at our start list. Bryce Wettstein kicking things off. She had to get in on her final run in her semifinal heat. And of course, anchoring this group of 6, the 13-year-old Masugu Okamoto. And I don't think I'm making any bold claims when I say this. Masugu has to be considered the favorite in this final.
Yeah, I definitely consider her the favorite. She just, like I said, I keep being lost for words because she's just really pushing the envelope for women's skating right now.
So
and that's so exciting to see. But here's Bryce, another one of our young teenagers, making it into the final. That fakie 360 to feeble.
So as we said, Bryce Wettstein got in on her final run. I'm curious, Craig McMorris out on the course. What was her reaction when she found out she got in last minute?
She lost her mind, and rightfully so, because she's skating in the finals. I don't know if you guys watched the Boise qualifier when she qualified. She was in tears, and rightfully so. It's been a fairy tale ride for Bryce.
Not only did we watch it, Craig, we actually called it.
You were there?
Yeah.
In the broadcast.
Yeah.
You were there too,
yeah.
Craig.
I was there too, man.
Kokona Hiraki, 10 years old. She is now officially the youngest ever X Games female athlete, making history, and this final just started.
Linz, how about that nose grab, or that nose grind, pardon me, every single time in semis and 1-for-1 in the finals?
Every time, and it just blows my mind every time when she pops back in so perfectly. Getting that board slide, oh, just coming off that backside kickflip on the bank there.
Again, it's amazing. A lot of kids maybe pick up skateboarding when they're 10 years old. How about competing on the biggest stage in the world at that age?
I was about 10 when I picked up skating.
Well, Kokona's at the X Games.
Yeah, so there.
Sakura Yosizumi, our bronze medalist from last year. She was the top ranked in her semifinal heat.
Big backside air. Not a lot of girls utilizing that quarter pipe that she did that big air on. Big old 50-50 to fakie through that corner into that fakie Pop-Tart. When I say fakie, I mean that she's coming in backwards, opposite of the stance that she normally rides.
And if the pace feels a little quicker, to you watching at home, that's because this new jam format has replaced our traditional runs format. So the pace picks up, and a byproduct of that is the skaters are getting more runs than they traditionally would otherwise, Lindsay.
Yeah, and that's something that they're definitely super stoked about, to have a little less stress off of them since it's not your best run. If you fall partway through a run, you know you have more runs, and that it's about your overall impression.
This course has been a playground for Masugu.
There's that varial she does that no other girl does, which means that part of her run she skated with her board backwards, and most skaters will tell you that's such a funky, weird thing to do. Generating so much speed out of those little legs. Big 540 into a lip slide, into the curl slide. Wow.
We're less than 6 minutes into this final, and we've already seen 2 540s.
There's that big backside 360 she does over the launch ramp to her big mute 540.
The current top 3 average age between those 3, 11 years, 7 months old.
Oh my gosh.
Lizzie Armanto can absolutely invite herself into that party, but that's how it stands right now. Simply amazing.
Aaron up to that slider to, oh.
So Lindsay just trying to get that run in here in the final. She's been unable to do it.
But she's mixing up her runs, and she's doing different tricks in every run.
She was on the outside looking in early in her semifinal heat.
She does have time. She has, you know, she's got this run that is definitely leaving an impression on the judges.
I'd say she's building right now.
She's building.
She's putting up the foundation. She's going to put the roof on this house that hopefully will get her on the podium in the next run, I think.
Right. That, again, is the beauty of this format. You can afford to build.
Oh, there she is, bumping up into third place.
And she does just that. Armanto taking over that bronze medal spot away from Sky Brown. Kokona, the 10-year-old, still in silver medal position.
Oh.
She just continues to impress with the power and speed in which she skates with, particularly in this bowl, given her small frame.
Yeah.
A look at Misugu's Instagram. Had a fun dinner with Yumiko Oda. Thank you for the team dinner. So Misugu on the gram there.
Big backside air over the rail. Tweaking it out.
With this, as we're closing in on the 2-minute warning, each of the skaters should get one more run
no.
as Misugu goes down. And she pops back up.
By watching her in practice, I think she was headed to do a big old stale fish.
So here's Lizzie Armanto. She's sitting in that bronze medal spot. She's earned a gold and a silver in this event. This is her last chance to move up the podium.
Oh, that was new. Big air into the frontside grind in the deep end.
There's no reason, if she stays on her feet, that she won't be able to catch Kokona.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, let's say.
Right.
Nice alley-oop air. Oh, just stepping off. But the judges have seen that.
Correct.
So maybe it won't make an impact on them that she fell on it.
That's where we come back to overall impression.
Right. And that was towards the very end of her run.
So Kokona currently in that silver medal spot, unless Lizzie may have passed her. We'll find out momentarily. This is her last chance to put an exclamation point here on her debut. She's the youngest ever to compete on the women's side in an X Games. Could she become the youngest to ever earn an X Games medal? Misugu Okamoto, what more can she do? We wondered, hey, could she possibly shake things up? We've seen a similar run all night long, but she's in first place.
She's in first place, and she's our last skater of the heat of the final.
Now those standings you see, obviously unofficial, but she has to feel good about where she is at the moment.
There's this stale fish I was talking about. Bam! So stylish.
And she gets it.
Grinding over that doorway. What does she have left for us?
Last 10 seconds for the final run.
Big backside 360, squatting it out. The most extended boneless I've seen. And that is time, oh my gosh.
The game has changed. And it's led by that 13-year-old Misugu Okamoto. We await the final standings. But does she win gold in her very first X Games? She does!
Oh my gosh, she must be so excited.
And there it is, our podium. Misugu wins gold. Kokona becomes the youngest X Games medalist ever with that silver. And Lizzie Armanto earns bronze.
Tetsugo Okamoto, changing women's skateboard park forever. The youth has arrived. And speaking of youth, I'm playing against Jagger Eaton right now. Before this year, he was the youngest competitor to compete at X Games. He's all grown up. He's competing in Skateboard Street today. He's competing in Skateboard Park tomorrow. And we also have Nyjah Houston coming up later today. He's going for his 11th X Games gold medal in Skateboard Street. Let's see if Jagger has a chance of taking him down. It is going to be a battle royale. We also have the Pacifico BMX Park final about to go down. More hardware still to come. X Games Minneapolis is brought to you by Harley-Davidson. Enlighten your thrills at h-d.com/xgames.
Just drop that beat on that. Just drop that beat on that. Yeah. Now one more again. Yeah. Just drop that beat on that. 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 Sheila. Everybody wanna party. Everybody wanna have a good time. Now put that beat on that.
What a fabulous host city Minneapolis has been for 3 years and one more next year to boot. And we're ready to rock, roll, and rumble here for the Pacifico BMX Park Finals. A six-pack of BMX superchargers ready to roll around this park and be authentic and original and take a gold medal. Now it's time to take a look at some of the highlights of how this six-pack got here. Scotty, what do you like here about this stud?
This is Logan Martin. What's there not to like about him on a park course, honestly? He is the best out there at majority every contest that he enters, with huge tricks like this, double tail whip transfers. He's got the big tricks on the box, but then we also have rookies that get here for the first time and could possibly get a chance to go for a medal right now. So we got Rim Nakamura from Japan, the first rider from Japan representing BMX Park. So this is going to be an epic showdown.
This is truly a storyline of David versus Goliath, or the experienced ones versus the rookies. And we're gonna hit that storyline throughout, and we're gonna give you, right now, the top 6 that have qualified out of our 12-pack. So the format is gonna be explained here, and we'll go through it time and time again. Scotty Kramer next to me here. We got Chris Doyle down in the mix. Scotty, 9 years in a row, 9 different winners. Explain to the folks at home why it's so difficult to go double gold back to back.
It all started with me in 2012, and it hasn't happened since. And the reason why is because the course is always changing. Every angle, every ramp, it's never the same. And each of these riders spin to the left or spin to the right their normal way. So it's hard to do it back to back, but there's a chance we can get it today.
You're saying there's a chance, and this guy has 1 in 6 chances to take a gold medal. He'd be a newcomer to the podium, and we'll talk about statistics in a minute, but right now, the rookie from Argentina at 24 years of age, his first X Games and his first final in the park event.
And we talked about it earlier, he is coming off of an injured shoulder that he had recently, training for X Games. So he didn't practice really much at all doing any tricks, and he still made the final. That just goes to show how good this guy really is.
Push the pain aside and focus on the result. 30 seconds on the clock for each run. You see the Wendy's ponytails up there, and you also see that clock ticking down for 15 minutes. Our starter, Patrick, gives the clearance for our competitors. Now we'll go with Brandon Lupos. And Chris Doyle, you're down in the mix. How's it looking?
Well, Lupos is looking good to me. He's one of the only riders that is constantly checking the clock as he's doing his run. You'll see him glance up at the clock from time to time just to see what kind of time he has left and what kind of tricks he's still got in the tank. But man, Lupos is looking good. Lupos is looking hungry out there.
So he's earned a gold medal in the dirt competition, which you'll see later on this evening at the X Games in Minneapolis. His best finish in a park is 7th place, and very important, Scotty, to put down 1 right out of the gates.
It is, and I spoke to Lupos, and this gold medal means more to him than anything he could possibly ask for. So he's gonna try everything he can in his arsenal of tricks to get on that podium, especially on the top.
One of the 4 golden boys in this heat. 6 athletes, 4 of them have gold at the X Games, 2 are rookies. This is Daniel Sandoval, a park gold medal in 2015. He whips that thing around like a temporary tornado.
3 times around, indeed, triple tail whip. And here goes Sandoval. Ooh, that's a tough hang-up right there. I saw him pedaling. I knew he was gonna do something big.
Again, oh, that's a tough hit. And there goes the tire. You heard the snap, you heard the pop.
That is not how you want to start your heat right there.
That was wicked.
And the thing that I'll bring up right now, we talked about it before that crash. He did a transfer and hung a back wheel. When your momentum's thrown off like that, it's hard to recover. So that was a huge trick he went for.
Okay, so Matt Hoffman grabbed his bike. He'll take it to the pits and change the tire. We'll see more of Sandoval. Now the veteran. I know Chris Doyle loves the energy and the passion that Dennis Anderson has, right?
One of my favorite bike riders in the whole world, and he's showing you why right now. I mean, look at the tricks he's doing. They're not tricks that anyone else is doing. Well, with the exception of the tail up, of course, but a lot of these tricks, like I said before, were invented in the mid-90s, and it's a testament to how well Dennis can ride this course. Check out how he does that pressure, putting the Abubakar against the corner of that ramp and coming back in fakie. You gotta love Dennis Anderson's riding right there.
Abubakar, favorite word of the day. 6 medals, a gold in Austin, another one of the golden boys. Rim Nakamura, he's getting things on for his first final of the X Games at 17, 0 expectations. Scotty, take me back to when you were a rookie and what was going through your mind.
Being on the deck with all of your heroes is quite overwhelming. You know, I went in there and I got a broken nose in 19th place, all right, from my first one.
Sorry to laugh.
It's okay. I
It's
can laugh
reality.
about it now.
It's reality.
It was tough that weekend, but yes, it's very discouraging. It's terrifying. But Rim Nakamura, he's been on such a tear lately. It seems like he's not phased at all.
So let me give you the stat. 0% chance so far in history, in 24 years, for a rookie to get a gold medal. 10% chance to get a podium. That's how hard it is for a rookie to show up here at the X Games and walk away with hardware. But a first good looking run, right up there with the rest of them. And this gentleman won a gold last year, heavily decorated Australian Logan Martin on his way to look for another gold, back-to-back, so hard to do.
Logan Martin starting things off with an awesome trick over the box jump with the 720 bar spin cork. Here's the flared downside tail whip. And what's so cool about Logan's riding, he's got all these big tricks on command. He trains these every single day on his ramps back home.
And as we're winding things down for Logan Martin, as he's looking to secure another gold medal, to be the first to go back-to-back in a decade, Jose Torres, the Argentinian, screamed on up to the top of the leaderboard. These are unofficial until made official, folks. Again, you're witnessing the Pacifico BMX Park final. Nice to have you joining us here. Uncle Lee with Scotty Kramer, legend of sport, 9-time medalist. Chris Doyle in the mix, multiple medals. See what's going on down there with Jose Torres.
Well, I'm agreeing with what Scotty was saying, how he wasn't doing anything like this in practice. He really saved it all for this moment to be able to put down these runs. Jose Torres was my dark horse candidate coming into this contest, and he's really holding his own against some of the best in the world as a rookie here at X Games.
Well, as we talked during the break, there's the bell. We have the Golden Boys, 4 Golden Boys. They've got 26 park events to their combined experience, right? Experience and expectations. The rookies, raw talent, determination, they have no X Games finals to them. So it's, again, David Goliath style.
And here comes Brandon Lupos. We talked about him earlier. Oh, tough break on the first hit. It's not what you want to do in the finals, but there's still a chance if he can get back on the course and he can get 2 more runs in to represent his riding, he can still potentially get on that podium.
Thumbs up for Mr. Daniel Sandoval, gold in 2015. This is his 10th X Games appearance. Showed up in 2012 in LA and finished in the top 8, and here he is going for gold today.
Wait, I'm looking at Daniel Sandoval right now, and he is on a borrowed bike. That is not his bike right there. This is quite interesting. I can't make out whose bike it is exactly, but I know that is not Daniel's because Daniel is a brakeless rider, and there is a brake on the left side right there. So that is either an Australian or an English rider because that's where they ride the brake on the left. Everybody else rides it on the right. So he must have had a full breakdown of his bike when he had that blowout that it was unfixable.
Yeah, so I'd ask you, Chris Doyle, how challenging is that in the mindset of a final to step on someone else's bike?
It is nearly impossible. I can't believe the tricks that he was able to do on a borrowed bike and the camaraderie with all these riders. Everyone's offering up, hey, take my bike, and he just sat on a couple bikes and gave it a go. I believe it was Ben Wallace's bike that he took, just based on that lever being on the left side. But check out Dennis Anderson, the downside fast plant, such a classic trick done by a classy guy. And I love, Dennis goes down on the double truck driver. Uncharacteristic of Dennis to miss those bars.
Take a peek back at this here, gets way up there. Watch my foot hit the top.
Yeah, you can see he put that X-up in there as well, Uncle Lee. So that's a little extra points. The X-up is when you spin the bars backwards and hold them and your arms create an X in the air.
Perfect for the X Games. All right, so this is a 17-year-old from Japan, Dennis Emerson, who just went. This gentleman, Rim Nakamura, was 5 years of age when Dennis Henderson started his X Games back in 2007.
That's an unbelievable stat right there.
Right?
And what's even crazier is thinking about it, I started in 2003, so it makes matters worse. But Rim is on the course, he is in control, he looks so confident at such a young age. Look at that air! Uncle E turning on the boosters right there.
First Japanese rider to compete in park, and he's showing you what's up, Minneapolis and the world.
great riding from Rim, even in the finals before this, just to get here, the semifinals. Look at the height right here. This is the highest air we've seen all day out of that. If I'm gonna estimate right now, that is about 13 feet above the ramp, but that ramp is only about an 8-foot ramp. So that's unbelievable. That doesn't add up.
So although there's no trick associated with that, the amplitude scores high.
The judges will definitely reward him.
Right, here we go. Gold medalist from last year, Mr. Logan Martin. He's so heavily decorated. He's got his own fun park in his backyard. Smooth veteran showing you why he walked away with gold last year.
Confidence is key in a BMX Park final, and Logan Martin has plenty of that. He believes in his riding, he believes in the tricks, and he knows he needs to step up in that crucial moment to be able to get back on top of the podium.
And he's winding down the last 5 seconds. We've got an update coming in. We want to make sure Logan finishes it off, and that just might count. It's going to be close. But at the leaderboard, Rim Nakamura, the rookie, is in that top position as we're getting down to it, Scotty.
The stats show that this is almost an impossible feat right here to have both rookies first and second. So we'll see how this finishes out.
Yeah, well, the impossible is always made possible here at the X Games. Through the years, we've seen that. Let's go back to the top of the order. Jose Torres from Argentina. No athlete from Argentina has medaled at the X Games. Oh,
tough break
ouch.
right there, trying to get speed to pump up onto that spine ramp. But when you're moving that fast and you're trying to catch all the flat bottom you can coming out of that quarter pipe, he tagged back wheel and sent him forward.
Yeah, he also broke his elbow in the qualifier last year, shoulder injury, as you saw there. So we'll see if he gets another opportunity. Great angle there by the Sydney native Brandon Lupos on the outside looking in on the podium style.
360 triple tail whip over that box jump. That's a huge move, Uncle E. Oh, went for the double tail whip pocket air, but he hung up back wheel. And when we use the term hung up, that means that your back wheel did not make it into the transition. It stops your momentum abruptly.
Again, if you happen to be just joining us, this is the Pacifico BMX Dirt Final. We had 12, we narrowed it down to 6. We put 15 minutes on the clock. We're just under 4:20 right now. This is Daniel Sandoval, representing Corona, California, a gold medalist in 2015. This is his third mission, his third attempt in the finals.
And good news, he is back on his bike. It looks like they got that sorted out, so he is going to be able to feel at home instead of being on somebody else's bike. So this is huge for him. There's that flare double tail. The one that took him out got full redemption on it, landing beautifully that time.
Getting right back on the horse. Down to the last 5 seconds. He's currently unofficially in third place. Looking to secure a podium spot as a rookie is so challenging. And he's on a mission here. I'm liking what I'm seeing. As always, these athletes just pushing it. And Anderson, he started things off up by the box, a different angle from the veteran.
So Anderson is coming off his last run with a tough break over the box jump when he crashed that suicide double truck driver, meaning he was throwing the bar spin around twice without catching the handlebars, which you have a lot of faith in your riding. But right there, Dennis could not get a hold of it. I saw him go for that gap to manual that he did in the semifinals, but his front wheel tagged down, and we talk about momentum a lot in this competition. If something gets thrown off like that, your whole mental state gets thrown off.
Chris Doyle, your vantage point with Rim.
My eyes are in the skies right now, and I'm looking at Rim Nakamura. He is just blasting right now. For such a little guy, he's got some of the biggest airs in this competition. I have the great vantage point where I'm just looking directly up at him in the US Bank Stadium here, and it is a sight to see. Our rookie is currently on fire right now.
Chris, that first trick while you were talking, I'm not sure or not because it happened so fast, but that might have been a quadruple bar spin air.
I was trying to count, talk, and keep my jaw together all at the same time.
What a show for Rim Nakamura.
We're on the precipice, folks, of witnessing some history. Doyle in the background with his jaw back in his up by his upper teeth now. Here we go. Logan Martin, defending gold medalist, has some serious pressure and a 17-year-old who's just above him. But watch out.
That was cool. What Logan just did, he did a flip whip transfer over the rail of that box jump. We talked about it earlier. That box jump is in the way of these guys when they're riding. It's too small for them to really incorporate in their run because these guys go so fast. So it's cool that Logan actually took advantage of it and used it as an obstacle to transfer over.
Well, You viewers, along with the athletes, have demanded action, action, action. This jam format, relatively new format out here, and the athletes seem to be throwing it down and enjoying it. And here's a peek back at defending gold medalist Logan Martin.
Here's that transfer I was talking about, from one side of the ramp where the rail is over to the other. And he does his flip whip with a bit of an underflip, meaning that he commits to leaning on his shoulder, so it's not fully straight up and down. And he actually was able to spot his landing and bring it in pretty early.
We take a breath, as this will be it. 6 competitors. With the time we've seen so far, this will be it for Argentina's own Jose Torres. He's in third. He wants to just hang it on. Nothing to lose here, Scotty.
So much to gain.
And Logan Martin has just jumped into first unofficially. Puts Nakamura in second. But let's keep our eyes on the final seconds of Torres.
So Jose Torres, we talked about it. He is working with a shoulder injury, and he is still riding, and enough to be in that podium position. Here's a replay of Jose Torres with that front flip over the box jump. You can see he stalls his momentum on that lip, giving his ability to transfer the momentum going forward, completing that flip.
Just raw talent and determination by the 2 rookies, Jose Torres and Rim Nakamura, who are in third and second respectively. Here goes a final ditch effort for Brandon Lupos. Oh, and he gets unglued, and that's gonna end his day. Do no better than 6, Scotty.
That's a tough break for Brandon Lupos. I know how much he wanted to be on the top of the podium and be on the podium.
And we'll see him later tonight in Dirt, along with Logan Martin and a cast of other characters on ESPN later tonight. Sandoval, he's starting his mission for a podium spot. He's in fourth on the outside looking in. Final run.
Not bad, considering he had to sacrifice a run on a borrowed bike. But he is back on the course, and he's looking very solid on that last attempt. So he's gonna really need to turn it up right now and deliver something huge. Oh man, and he loops out on that front flip no-hander over the box jump, and that's gonna end his run today.
Tough to land the fronts, blind coming into it, and that'll do it. He will not make it onto the podium. Anderson in fifth, his final run. Capable of so much, 6 medals, 1 gold in 2016. 15th X Games appearance. Let's witness this fun.
So Dennis Anderson, on his last run, things did not work out as planned, and he's just having fun on the course right now. And that's hard to, you know, it's as much as he's making a good lighthearted joke out of this. You only have 1 chance at X Games a year to be able to show up and be able to get a chance for a medal. So
yeah, Anderson, smooth veteran, second place. This kid, these final 2, Nakamura on the right, on the left-hand side, you've got defending gold medalist Logan Martin. It's a battle of the rookie versus Goliath, the defending gold medalist. Rim is in second place. He's got 30 seconds to show the judges, us in the world, what he has to go for gold.
This is a big run for him, Uncle E. It all comes down to this one. Not only is he in second place position, but he can be the statistic breaker right there. And so far, he's riding like a man possessed. Looking so solid on this course.
No expectations, raw talent, nerves of steel. There's the bell. Nakamura, is it gonna be enough? It's up to the judges.
That is a big run right there, Uncle Lee. This can do it. It's a possibility. Tricks like this, 360 tail whip, stopping it with 1 foot, kicking it the direction the other way. And he's landing so confident on that bike. Look, it didn't even have to dip down, sit on the seat or anything.
Chris Doyle, was there enough diversity and seamless fluidity to overtake Martin?
I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I am so happy to not be a judge at this competition. Logan Martin is not holding back, and that's what we're seeing right here. Oh, he settles for the tabletop. Uncharacteristic of Logan. But check out the line, jumping into that bowl corner like that. There's that bar into the wall ride. First time we've seen him do that today. So it looks like he's maybe taking it a little bit easy. I'm not really sure how the judges are going to score this. I don't know how this contest is going to pan out, but I can say it's been a lot of fun to watch these guys do their thing today here on our park course.
Oh, Pacifico BMX Park. There's Logan. It's up to the judges now, Scotty.
Yes, the results that you guys are seeing, they are unofficial until we get the word right now. So can Logan Martin, can he break the curse of having no back-to-back medalists?
Yeah.
Or is Rim Nakamura going to do what we thought was impossible?
Yeah, there's 2 curses going on. No rookies ever made a gold medal. It's only 10% chance they're going to podium. And in 9 years, no one's double golded like Logan Martin. One of these 2 guys. Here's Logan Martin. Experience,
Beautiful 360 invert. That is so dipped, it's like a backflip. Then you have Rim Nakamura going at height, bringing these classic moves and combinations. This was an epic, epic park final.
When BMX Park started, I don't think Nakamura's parents were even together. Let's go back that far. I don't know officially, but he was -7 years of age.
But BMX has been in his blood. His family owns a bike shop in Japan, and he's actually named after a bicycle rim.
All right, it's coming in. The judges have done their deliberation. Will it be the rookie or will it be the veteran? David versus Goliath. Your winner, Logan Martin, breaks the curse. Back-to-back gold with a couple of rookies. Taking medals and breaking the chains. Nakamura silver, Torres from Argentina, earning his first medal in Argentina's first BMX medal ever. Scotty, you've had a few of them. That tastes good, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. I've never been able to do back-to-back gold medals. I've had 3 altogether, but look at him sharing this moment with his fiance, with his son Noah. This is huge.
There's little baby Noah and his fiance. Awesome work by all the athletes here. So stoked that this just went down. Nakamura, well done. But folks, wait, there's more. Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick is right around the corner. The full throttle showdown will take flight between Tom Pages and Rob Adelberg. That's going to be an all-out battle royale when we come back. But wait, there's even more. And still to come, the legend on the skateboard, 4-wheel truck stopper, Nyjah Houston in the Monster Energy Men's Skateboard Street. All this and more from Minneapolis after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
I copy, Seth. I copy. Okay, see you guys.